We're doing a brief dome tour here of the areas up above the rotunda. So this is, we're in the vaulted area of what we call the drum of the dome. And this is millions and millions of bricks laid end to end, and it helps to support the 52 million pounds, 26,000 ton dome weight that rises 272 feet up to where Commonwealth is at. Our Capitol building was built 1902 to 1906 by architect Joseph Miller Houston of Philadelphia. He was 36 years old when he got the commission. We're up in what's called the drum of the dome now at the peristyle level. The dome weighs 52 million pounds or 26,000 tons. So that's the dome piers that go about 60, 70 feet into bedrock. It rises the whole way up here and it supports the weight of the dome. So the dome itself would be freestanding even if the rest of the wings of the building were taken down. It's a pretty amazing structure. The fact that it was put up, actually it was substantially complete by 1905, and both the House and Senate met in it while it was being constructed. There's places where you'll see graffiti from the last 110 years where everybody who was up here working on it signed their name or carved their name into the wood. A lot of cobwebs, a lot of dirt, a lot of debris in places. We did one of our projects was to actually clean the upper areas of the dome, and I think that was in 2002 or 3. I think they hauled 75 bags of trash out of here from 100 years worth of just accumulated debris that was left in the dome. The amazing part is there's even detail up here, like when you look at the door, the doorknob here. I mean, that's still the state. Nobody sees it, but it's still the state coat of arms on the doorknob and everything. So it's amazing the amount of detail that Joseph Houston, the architect, put into areas that nobody probably would ever see, even the upper areas of the dome. In the 70s and 80s, when you'd come up here, it was actually so moist and so wet that water was running down into the murals down below. So you could stand up here with an umbrella and have water coming in like it was raining in the dome. That problem was fixed in probably 84, 85 by a major project that fixed the stormwater leaders, diverted the water off of the dome. So that was taken care of. Now the issue that we have are the changes at fluctuations in temperature and humidity. Well, they had a louver system in here where it would help to self-regulate. So if you had a hot summer day, it would kind of close that off and keep it it just helped to regulate it at a 50-50 flow from inside to outside. That was taken out a couple years ago. General Services did a 2 or 3 year project waterproofing the upper level, which we'll see later. So this lime scale here that you see in efflorescence is just topical now. There's no structural issue with moisture or the bricks spalling in here anymore. So, but you can see there's some areas where in the past they had from the moisture that was coming in, but it's not an issue currently. So we're going to take a look out at what we call the peristyle level, the railing here. We're about 140, 160 feet above the main rotunda. So we're up on top of what we call the drum of the dome. This balustrade runs the whole way around here, so you can walk around the outer area, the perimeter of the building. People either love or they hate the green of the dome, and so the green is what's called Empire green glazing, but underneath it they're red terracotta tiles. They just happen to have a green glaze on them. So architect Joseph Houston, that's what he picked. This is actually the third roof that the Capitol's had. So one in 1905, 06, one after World War II in the 40s, and then another one in I think 1991, 92. So for a long time there were, they'd put the roof on, not come up here for 50 years. So you'd have birds coming up, dropping seeds into the gutters and everything. And so you'd have trees and bushes and stuff growing out of they just didn't. It's like when you put a brand new building up, you think, oh, well, we don't have to maintain it. Well, if you just walk away and never look at the exterior of it or the roof of it for 25 years, you're gonna have those types of problems. So that's what they did for a long time. Now, hopefully we're doing a better job of maintaining the exterior as well as the interior so we don't have that problem. These we think are weep holes. We don't know exactly how far, whether they go the whole way in through. They're not drainage of any type. We think they're to keep, there is slight movement in the granite. You won't see it, but We think that that's to keep cracks from forming here, even though there's one. But we think that that's what it's for, especially underneath the window, because you'll have some shifts. We just crawled up the series of ladders on what we call the interstitial space of the dome. So there's an inner and outer dome, and we crawled up the area in between, and we're up at what we call the lantern level. So this is the railing that goes around. We're about 55 feet above State Street down below, and so the lantern is actually, the rest of the Capitol's made in granite. The lantern's made in what's called cane stone, which is a sandstone, CAEN stone, imported from France. It doesn't weather quite as well. You can see there's some areas of loss when you look up, but this was weatherproofed and redone, repointed, I believe in 1998-99, when the committee had scaffolded, well, General Services had scaffolded the whole way up here, and we removed the Commonwealth statue for restoration. The Commonwealth is, I believe she's 18.5 feet tall, sits on a 4-foot ball, so about 22.5 feet, weighs, I think, 3.5 tons. So it's a bronze statue, which was proposed by Joseph Houston, but sculpted by Roland Hinton Perry. So the proper name, folks call her Miss Penn, or Lady Liberty, whatever. But the proper name is Commonwealth, the allegorical figure of the Commonwealth on top of the dome. And then she's clad. So when she was restored, it sits on top there, and I think there's 16 bolts that attach via flange to the dome. All but one of those were rusted through. So they took it off with what's called a sky crane helicopter and flew it down into Capitol Park, sent it out to Connecticut for restoration. About 9-10 months later, it came back. So it was gold leafed, and then a layer, a weatherproof layer, clear coat was applied over top, so that gold lasts up there on the dome, and then she was lifted back into place. So we're at the top of the, I guess you'd call it the curvature, the interstitial space of the dome. So when you crawl up, there's a final ladder that curves with the curved part of the dome. So this is all poured concrete here over top of the interior steel skeleton, and then there's an exterior steel skeleton that also has concrete poured over top of it. So you can see some of the cobwebs and dirt and debris that's up here. We cleaned it probably going on 15 years, 16 years now, and this is just the accumulation of cobwebs over the last 10 or 15 years. So it does get dirty. It's its own kind of microclimate. In the summer, it's really hot and humid. Up here, you don't want to spend too much time in the dome in the summertime.